What's up, guys? I am Kenny, and today we're doing episode number 7 of my series Upscale Phishing Interviews, and we're going to get right to it. If you could please tell us your name and the name of your YouTube channel.
My name is Bill Matthews, and my YouTube channel is BASSINBILL96. The main focus of my channel is kind of to entertain, but also to teach people how to fish, really. Like, that's kind of why I started it. I mean, I've been fishing since like basically the day that I was born. My dad would take me out on the boat when I was less than a year old, and I've really just been around fishing and in the industry like ever since I was like before I could even remember. And so I want to kind of spread the knowledge that I've learned over my 21 years of fishing and to everyone else.
What book have you read the most, or what book has greatly influenced your life?
Book that I've read the most throughout my life is Mike Iaconelli's book. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I literally read that book at least 10 times, like through like 8th grade to high school, because it's pretty much the only book that really gives you like an insight of the industry, of the fishing industry. I mean, they have like a lot of videos, like FLW has Circuit Breaker now that season, where you could kind of see what it's like to be an angler on tour and stuff. But aside from that, that's one of the only books where you could really get inside of one of the pros' heads, one of the most predominant, like, famous pros' heads, and see what they went through to get to where they are today. So it's just a really awesome book. I never got like tired of it, reading it time after time after time. He really instills like good morals inside of people, I feel, too. Like his little motto, never give up. I think that's just really important in the fishing industry and just in life in general.
The book is Fishing on the Edge. I always remember seeing the cover and being tempted to read it, but just never got to it. Maybe I'll have to check that out. For the next question, what fishing gear or lure purchase of $100 or less has made the most impact in the last 12 months?
Gonna have to say Max Tackle Football Jig, because that bait won me more money than any other bait and caught me more fish than any other bait all of last year. Literally was catching like 3 to 5 pounders all year, skipping football jigs under docks, fishing them out deep. I usually tip it with a Berkley Trigger Craw trailer, and that thing's just freaking deadly. Like, it will catch fish anywhere that you go. Pretty much any conditions, any time of year. You can fish it super slow in the winter. You can fish it really fast in the summer and skip those docks and everything. But easily, biggest game changer all of last year, Max Tackle Football Jig, 3/8 ounce, Bama Craw, kills it.
How has a failure, big or small, set you up for a later success? And do you have a favorite failure of yours?
I think that one of my biggest failures in life was when I almost made it to the national championship for high school bass fishing. I was actually fishing with Alex Perrick from AP Bassing. A lot of you guys probably know him. And the day before the tournament, the rules changed. It was originally supposed to be a team tournament, so me and Perrick pre-fished with each other. We had the fish freaking dialed in. We were catching like 15 pounds a day in practice, absolutely smoking them. And then the night before the tournament, rules got changed. We were fishing separately, so we were in the same boat, fishing for the same fish, but we were no longer teammates. And so what basically happened was we had to take turns in the front of the boat. Perrick took the front of the boat first. I don't remember how we decided it. We might have just... I have no idea. I honestly got to forget how we decided who got the front of the boat first, but he got the front of the boat first. Turns out there was a morning bite. He ended up catching 5 fish. The limit size was 15 inches, which was really difficult to catch in this lake. I think that there was only 3 limits weighed in out of like 30 teams. So, and we caught so many 14 and a half, like 14 3/4 inches. I probably caught like 50 fish that day. Just ridiculous. But Perrick ended up catching 5 fish for, I think, like 13 pounds or so, and I only ended up catching 4 fish for like 11 and a half pounds or something. I was like 1.5 pounds behind. Honestly, if I could have weighed my biggest 14 3/4 inches, or if I could have weighed my biggest 13 3/4 inch fish, it would have beat him, because those fish were so stocky. But the fact that they had to be 15 inches, and we were fishing against each other, and I was in the back of the boat during the morning bite, I just ended up coming up a little bit short. I think I got 4th place, but like I said, I wasn't able to fill out my limit. I only had 4 fish, really good quality fish. And that failure really kind of drove me, because that was my first like big tournament loss, where like I was just so close to being able to like sniff that victory, and I just came up short. So it really propelled me to do better throughout the rest of that season and just the rest of the tournaments throughout my career. I always strive to try to like put myself ahead of the field, and I don't know, not make the same mistakes that I did in that tournament. It just really kind of bugged me for a while, and I was able to kind of overcome that and become the angler that I am today.
If you could write anything on your own billboard and put it anywhere, what would it say?
Gonna have to be a little bit cliche here and just say never give up, because I don't know, that quote always has really stuck with me ever since I read Ike Anelli's book and saw him win the 2003 Bassmaster Classic. It's one of my biggest inspirations, and I don't know, I can't think of anything for that question, so we're just gonna have to be cliche here.
What is one of the best investments you have ever made? It could be investment of time, money, or energy.
Okay, so I'm going to say investing my money in a boat was probably the best investment that I've ever made. Currently don't have a boat, and that's why it's really bugging me right now, I think. But people always say if you buy a boat, be prepared to pay $1,000, like BOAT stands for bust out another 1,000, because it really does. Like every single boat that I've owned always, is breaking down, having tons of mechanical issues that you have to keep dumping money into it like over and over again, and it can be very frustrating, but it's so satisfying being able to get on the water wherever you want, whenever you want, on your own accord, and being able to run the boat yourself, have your own trolling motor, and just do what you want to do instead of trying to be a co-angler and fish some of these circuits where you don't get to make your own decisions. You're really just at the mercy of the boater. That's not what I like to do. So currently, personally, that's the best investment that I ever made, was owning my bass tracker, and I'm trying to buy another boat right now. I suggest it. It's a huge financial investment. If you're paying $5,000 for a boat, prepare to pay like another $5,000 over the course of two more years probably. You're probably going to blow an engine. Something's going to go wrong, but I just wouldn't trade it for anything. Definitely want to buy another boat.
What is a unusual lure or absurd fishing tactic that you love to use?
If you guys have followed my channel at all, you might have seen my cicada lure challenge, which it's this like little bug topwater lure. It kind of has the action of like a pompadour where it like crawls on the top. But I saw that lure, and I've seen like the little bug crankbaits and stuff before, but I've never seen something that actually truly imitated like a bug on the top of the water like that and looked that realistic. I think that Duo Realis makes this thing. I forget exactly what it's called, but that thing flat out caught fish. I took it to a pond that is a good pond, so like there's some big fish in there, but you might be lucky to catch like a 3-pounder and a couple 12 inchers for like an average day out there. I whacked like 3 over 3 pounds and then a bunch of smaller ones too, and that lure just flat out caught fish. It's such a weird looking lure that you really just wouldn't think was gonna work like in a real application, and it really did. And then I took it to a creek the next day and caught some smallmouth on it too, so super like really weird outlandish lure, catches fish.
In the last 3 years, what belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life?
I really like to go by the model that everything happens for a reason. So if an opportunity presents itself to you, or if something bad happens, either way, like if the highs and the lows, they happen for a reason. You have to just live your life to the best of your ability. Try to make the best decisions that you possibly can, and hopefully everything falls into place. I've had a lot of crazy things happen to me during tournaments, and I try not to let them get the best of me. I'm so used to things going wrong in tournaments now that I would like to say I keep my calm better than almost anyone else out there. You should see the things that me and my fishing partner Chris go through. Literally, it just never ceases to amaze me at this point. So I just try to live my life the best that I can, keep everything that is in my control under wraps, and just try to do the best that I can.
What advice would you give a smart-driven beginner angler trying to make it into the fishing world?
This one's another kind of cliche answer, but fish as much as possible. Like literally when I started out, I would go to a pond pretty much every single day. I would ride my bike, I would walk, I would like bum rides off my parents or friends' parents or whatever, like before I had my license. And I would literally try to fish every single day, try so many different tactics, especially if you're fishing ponds. It's really easy to like try different tactics because the fish in the ponds are kind of dumb, let's be honest. You could pretty much throw anything and catch them. So I pretty much got a grasp on like the entire fishing industry and just really managed to hone my skills. So if you're a young angler looking to kind of get into the sport, just fish as much as possible and watch YouTube videos like my channel and a lot of other guys' channels who make informational content where you can learn new tactics and stuff. Like that's how I learned so many things, is through YouTube. And it's such a valuable resource just sitting in front of you. It's free to use. Just use YouTube. Use like informational articles online, anything like that. Just try to learn as much as possible.
What are bad recommendations or tips you hear about fishing?
This one I had to think really long and hard about, because I never really hear people like giving out bad information too often. But there's always the time where people will tell you like, oh, that kind of bait won't work this time of year, or maybe like, no, they don't hit that kind of color in this lake or something like that. And to those people I have to say, fish are animals. This is a quote by my friend Luke Jasper. Fish are animals, and they literally do whatever they want. I've caught some fish doing some of the dumbest stuff, and they're literally animals. I mean, a fish can be in a foot of water, a fish could be in 30 feet of water. It's really hard to pinpoint them. Obviously, there's certain tactics that work better. There's certain lures that do work better certain times of year. But, like, if someone's going around telling, like, a kid, oh, you shouldn't throw that here, like, that's never going to work, I mean, that's kind of bad advice, because fish can literally do anything and everything, so don't underestimate them. And fish whatever makes you happy. If you like throwing jigs and maybe it's a lake that's not really that well suited to jigs, still, you could probably catch a fish on a jig there.
When you feel overwhelmed or unfocused, what do you do or what do you think about to get yourself back on track?
Usually fishing, because when I'm in school and I'm just kind of getting off track, I mean, it's like a blessing and a curse, because I think about fishing and it's kind of like daydreaming, and, you know, I wish I was out there, you know, fishing instead of sitting here in class learning about economics. But, you know, it really does kind of, like, I think about fishing, I'm like, all right, I need to do this, I need to get through school, so then in the future, you know, I could have a nice bass boat and fish whenever I want, or not whenever I want, but at least on the weekends. And so it really helps me keep things in perspective, get an education first, fish later. So really, fishing is the thing that I think about to kind of get me in the mindset, keep me on track.
When you hear the word successful, what person comes to mind?
I want to say that Jonathan Barzoncini and Alex Perrick, they're actually two of my good friends. I grew up fishing with them, like you saw earlier in this video. I was fishing partners with Alex Perrick. I fished a ton of tournaments with him, and John was in our same fishing club too, so I fished with him and against him before. And those guys pretty much did the same thing as me. John has been on the YouTube game for way longer. Perrick actually started at about the same time as me, but they both dropped out of college, pursued YouTube, and they're making a great living for themselves, fishing professionally, really, because fishing professionally doesn't mean that you're on the pro tour. Fishing professionally means that you make a living from fishing. They're out there traveling the world, doing what they love, and I just really envy and admire them. Like, they're just killing it, man. So John B., Alex Perrick, definitely think that they're pretty successful.
What video are you most proud of? I will leave a link below so all the viewers can check it out.
The videos that I'm the most proud of are probably my tournament videos. I think that my fishing for $4,000 one's really cool. I don't know why, but I just really love the intro on that video. I just like making tournament videos. I love fishing tournaments. That's what my primary goal is as a fisherman, is to fish these tournaments. I don't know if I even eventually want to go pro, but you know, I just have that competitive nature. I just really love fishing those tournaments, and I really love editing and making those videos.
What is the most exciting project you are currently working on or will be working on this year?
The most exciting project that I'm currently working on involves tournaments, go figure. And it's actually, I'm fishing a lot of these major tournaments this year. Like, I'm going down to Kentucky Lake. I'm going to be up in Cayuga in New York. I'm fishing Lake Cherokee in Tennessee, and I'm fishing Lake Erie, and then I'm also fishing a ton of tournaments all over Michigan as well. But what I'm going to be doing this year is I'm going to have cameras, hopefully, in like all the Grand Valley boats, because I go to Grand Valley State University, and I want to have like a perspective from each and every one of the anglers on the water. Like, the primary focus will probably be on me, because I'll have the most footage. I'll be vlogging and stuff like the whole time, but showing like the catches and stuff and the struggles that the other guys go through out on the water from my team is going to be awesome. So you're going to be able to follow the entire Grand Valley Bass team, see what it's like to fish as a college angler, see what it's like to succeed, hopefully, in some of these tournaments, and what if some of you guys are like high schoolers, what you might be getting yourself into if you decide to pursue college and college fishing.
What strategy or tactic has made the most impact in growing your YouTube channel?
I want to say it's clickbait. Like, you don't want to be bad where you're actually misleading people, but you have to have like a title and a thumbnail that pops out, because there's so many fishing YouTubers and YouTubers in general that people don't want to spend time searching through all these bland looking titles and thumbnails and maybe finding a good video. They're going to look for the most appealing looking video. That's what they're going to click, and hopefully if your content's good too, your retention rates will be good too, and the people will spend the entire time watching through the entire video. You definitely want to work on your thumbnails and work on your titles. Make sure that people actually want to click those, and that's the type of video that people want to watch. Usually challenge videos do really good. I mean, you don't want that to be the beefier channel. I've seen a lot of channels blow up by making like literally all challenge videos. I don't think that that's really helping anyone, but they are very entertaining videos. Like, they're a ton of fun to make too. If I had to say like what are my favorite videos to work on too, challenge videos are a ton of fun, using these like goofy rods or baits or whatever. But doing stuff like that will definitely bring more exposure to your channel, and it could help you blow up in the long run.
What video of yours was the most challenging?
And that is easily, hands down, making my little blooper videos, which I've done it for the past 2 years. And this year I literally had so many fails and bloopers that I had to break it into 2 videos or 3 videos. I did 2 videos. And so the hard part about those videos is I have to basically search through every single video throughout the entire year and find, you know, like maybe 1 or 2 fails per video, like, because obviously my whole life's not a failure, fortunately. But yeah, trying to go sift through all these videos and find a fail here, fail there. I don't like have to watch through the entire video, but I have to skim through it pretty thoroughly to make sure I don't miss any. And that takes a lot of time. And then since I don't really back my videos up, I have to re-download the videos. And just the entire process takes forever, but usually those videos do pretty well, so it's worth it. I mean, a lot of guys enjoy them. I enjoy going back and watching all my fails too. Like I literally watch that video, like, I don't know, once every couple of months just to see how dumb I am, I guess. But those videos are really hard to make, really time consuming, but definitely worth it in the long run.
Where would be the best place to find you online?
Best place to find me is obviously on YouTube and then also on Instagram. Both my handles are BASSINBILL96. Just want to give a huge shout out to Kenny for giving me these questions. I've never really done an interview like this, so it's cool to kind of share my insight, my views on bass fishing, and some stuff from my life. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys gained something from it, and gonna hand it back over to Kenny here. But thanks for watching.
Bill, thank you for taking the time and doing the interview. I think it turned out freaking awesome, at least on your end. I apologize for all the weird lighting and the blown out scenery here. It's the first time using this camera and I'm still getting used to it. Hopefully the mic should be better at least. That was my main goal. Before all you guys take off, make sure to check out my First Fishing Friday newsletter where we do a lure giveaway every single month, so I have 12 chances a year you have to win a lure giveaway. It also includes a little bit of news about my company, Upscale Lures, and a little bit of news about fishing from around the world. I think you guys will really enjoy it. We send out 1 email a month for the newsletter, maybe 2 at the most. I think you guys will really enjoy it. Again, the link is below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.